The Idries Shah Foundation podcast. Practical psychology for today. Featuring the works of Idries Shah, narrated by David Ault. Welcome to the Idries Shah Foundation podcast. This is the 13th in our series of selections made by the members of our Facebook group. It comes from Wisdom of the Idiots and is entitled The Golden Fly. There was once a man called Salah who knew right from wrong, and who knew what should be done and what should not be done, and who knew much of book learning. He knew so much, in fact, that he had been appointed to be the personal assistant to the Mufti Zafrani, an eminent jurisconsult and judge. But Salah did not know everything, and even in the things he did know, he did not always act in accordance with his knowledge. One day, when he had set aside his glass of sweet juice, a tiny, shimmering golden fly settled on the rim and took a sip. Then the same thing happened the next day, and the next, until the fly grew in size and Salah could easily see him. But the fly had grown so slowly that Salah hardly noticed him at all. Finally, after several weeks during which Salah had been deep in the study of a knotty legal problem, he looked up and realized that the fly seemed much larger than it should be. He brushed it away. The fly at once rose into the air, circled the glass, and flew away. But it came back. When Salah's vigilance was relaxed, the fly would swoop down, sit on the rim of the glass, and drink as much as it could. As the days went by, the fly became larger and larger, and as it drank more and more, it also started to look different. First, Salah flicked it away. Then he found that he had to take a stick to hit it with. Sometimes, too, the fly started to look to him like something with a semi-human form. It was, of course, a jinn, and not a fly at all. Finally, Salah shouted at the fly, and lo, it answered, saying, "I do not take so very much of your drink, and besides, I am beautiful, am I not?" Salah was first amazed, then afraid, and in the end completely confused. He started to derive some pleasure from the visits of the fly, even though it was drinking some of his sherbet. He watched as the fly danced. He thought about it a great deal. He did less and less work. And as the fly became larger, he found himself feeling weaker and weaker. Salah was often in trouble with the Mufti, and so he pulled himself together and decided to make an end of the fly. Summoning up all his resolution, he hit it a violent blow, and it flew away, saying, "You have wronged me, for I only wanted to be your friend, but I shall go, if that is what you want." Salah at first felt that he had got rid of the fly for good and all. He said to himself, "I have beaten it, and that proves that I am more powerful than it, be it man or jinn, fly or not." Then, when Salah had convinced himself that the whole matter was at an end, the fly appeared again. It had grown to an enormous size, and it descended from the ceiling like a shimmering lake in the form of a man. Two huge hands reached out and grasped Salah's throat. When the Mufti came to look for his assistant, he was lying strangled on the floor. The side wall of the house had collapsed with the jinn's passing, and all that was there to mark his enormousness was a handprint on the whitewash, as large as the side of an elephant. This audio is made available by the Idries Shah Foundation and is copyright 2019. All rights reserved.